Ali Cupper is the independent MP for Mildura. We've had some big announcements made. Whether they come to fruition remains to be seen, but the Liberal Party claim they want to spend $750 million on a Mildura hospital. I think you'd put a $500 million price tag on it. How much is it actually going to cost?
Yeah, well, I don't know. That we're waiting for the master plan to come out, which will be due in a few weeks. But it's incredibly exciting news. You know, we've gone from a place where the big parties were truly failing us to a place where they're fighting over it, and it's a very exciting moment for our community.
And just to track back in history, it's a little bit of a reversal of, I guess, the position the coalition had regarding a public hospital in Mildura.
Yeah, that's right. So previously they've thought that it was good enough for us to have the only privatised public hospital in the state. Around the time that they privatised our hospital, they referred to us as the toenails of the state, and so also that one of the reasons why I was pleasantly shocked that they have given our hospital this sort of priority is because every time I've raised it in question time, they've gone out of their way to scream and heckle at me. So it's good. I guess it's still good news that between the screams as they're drawing breath, they're listening to what I'm saying and hearing that case that we indeed do need a new hospital. We deserve a new hospital, and that if they ever want to have a chance at being taken seriously in this seat again, then this is the sort of commitment they need to show.
Now, you'd spoken previously about how you'd like to see this hospital be a sort of teaching hub, something that is linked in a way with regard to the federal arena when it comes to university places or training opportunities. During this federal election campaign, is there any other way we can get a stronger commitment for a Mildura hospital from the federal parties?
Be good, wouldn't it? So we've been obviously calling on the feds to stump up some cash, and we know that I think it was in the federal budget there was $20 million of planning money given by the feds to Helen Haynes' electorate for planning a new hospital at Albury-Wodonga. We didn't see any money provided in the budget by the feds. It would be great if they would maybe make some sort of an election promise between now and election day, which we now know is the 21st. I know that traditionally the National Party has assumed it will always win Mallee, but look, Anne Webster's primary vote is 29%, which is less than mine was. So the Nats don't have that level of safety and security that they used to. And so I would suggest to them, not that I am their political advisor, I don't think they'd be choosing me for that role, but I reckon that if you want an issue to sort of, to shore up votes and support, healthcare in the Mallee is the one.
Yeah, there's going to be plenty of gratuitous advice around during a state and federal election campaign at the moment. Ali, look, you've mentioned Helen Haynes. She's an independent holding the seat of Indi, carrying on from Cathy McGowan, who was the independent there. I assume you're surely going to make the case that the Mildura Hospital is an example of where independents attract attention to seats that might have been neglected otherwise.
Yeah, well, certainly it's a pretty big turnaround. Let's say that for sure. I mean, we've been counting up the tally of the wins that we've achieved over the past 3 years, because remember we still have a final budget to go, and we're already meeting or beating that benchmark that was set by my predecessor that took 12 years. So to be able to have that efficiency rate, to match it with someone who had 12 years to get the job done in only 3 years, we're fairly proud of that. And look, we think that the results speak for themselves.
Now, looking in the wins column as opposed to others, this the Commonwealth Games announcement that was made by the state Labor government, you've expressed disappointment that Mildura was left out. Is that a loss in that instance?
Yeah, I was so sad yesterday morning when I heard the news. I feel like the mood has been so buoyant here, at the top end of the Mallee lately in relation to sport, because and again thanks to the state government, but also thanks to the federal government and our council, we have a beautiful new sporting precinct, and I think that when we started hearing about this regional Commonwealth Games bid, we being very proud of our new facility, thought, gosh, we're a shoo-in. Isn't it great we put all of this capital into a brand new sporting precinct, because that means that we can be in with a shot, at getting a go when these big events come to Victoria. So look, our hopes were dashed yesterday, at least in relation to hosting events. One of the positives, that I have as an independent is that, I can have fairly good access to decision makers. And so yesterday I was able to give Martin Pakula a call, and he took my call, and I made my feelings very clear. He accepted what I had to say. He said that there are going to be other opportunities, during the games, whether it's, training camps or qualifying rounds or, other sort of, cultural, activities and programs that they're going to be really putting an emphasis on. We'll see what it is, but I made it clear to him that I want those things to be meaningful. I don't want them to be tokenistic. As important and symbolic as the Queen's Baton Relay is, we've had those before. That's not going to be enough for me.
Yep. You'd indicated in the Mildura Weekly about 7 weeks ago you'd be lobbying hard for Mildura to get a gig or a Guernsey, if I'm paraphrasing here. What happened? How come that lobbying didn't land in getting something for Mildura?
Yeah, look, one of the things I was told was that, there's requirements at the Commonwealth Committee, whatever you call it, end. So they had some rules around, distance and travel time between sort of the village and the venues and things like that, and that may have been a factor. We can dig deeper into that, but look, I made it really clear to the Minister that regardless of the technical reasons at the government's end, these things are felt very differently and specifically here in the Mallee. That we have a backdrop here of being let down and left out again and again and again across decades. So it's cold comfort for us to hear that there was some kind of objective external reason why we didn't get a go.
And I guess the opening or closing ceremony would be too big an ask in the circumstances. Maybe an exhibition event or something like that, a sport they're trialling at the Games, maybe could be hosted at Mildura.
Yeah, maybe. Look, and we'll be open to all options. We certainly don't want to be petulant about it and say, fine then, we're taking our bat and ball and going home and don't want to be a part of it, because of course we do, and we want to work constructively with the government on that. But at the same time, when we're feeling disappointment, we really need to be able to express that and to make those feelings clear to the government. But of course, this is no reason to stop fighting. We're Mallee tough. We fight. And we'll keep fighting.
Now, I have to put to you comments Anne Webster made about the outcome. She claimed it was another instance of Mildura's voice not being heard because with an independent in place. What's your response to that?
Yeah, look, we win some and we lose some. At the end of the day, for me, it's at the end of the term, it's going to be a ledger. We're going to compare, and we'll do that exercise. Literally, we'll do that exercise, and we will acknowledge, that we haven't won everything, but we've done a really good job. And we've done, achieved some amazing things. And that, even though we missed out on the Commonwealth Games this time, it will not be the last major sporting event that comes to Victoria, and we will have plenty more opportunities to just keep flying the flag. That's what we do. As you mentioned before, we went from a situation, of 20 years or more of abject neglect of Mildura Base Hospital by both of the major parties, and now with an independent in the seat within 3 years, out of nowhere, we've had our hospital brought back to public management, and we've got one of the major parties putting $750 million on the table for a brand new one. So look, the game has changed. To suggest that independents are irrelevant, or it's another example of independents, not being able to pull off a win, that's just completely disingenuous, and Anne would know that.
Ali Cupper, thanks very much. Much appreciate your comments today, and all the best going towards our November state election. We'll chat with you regularly leading up to that.
Great. Thank you.